friends, this is Amner Hunter from AmnerHunter.com, Amner Hunter Studios and Guitar Matter. Thank you very much for being here and welcome. This time around, I want to share with you my top 6 EQ plugins, okay, that are completely free. I'm going to put the download links on the description, right? These are free tools that can be very useful on your productions, mixes, or mastering sessions. These tools can get head to head with paid plugins, alright? These free tools have awesome features. They are very easy to use, easy to install. Since I discovered these plugins, I don't use any more paid plugins, alright? Equalization is one of those topics that are very important on your productions, okay? They can make or break your songs. If you know about the basics of equalization, these tools are going to work very well. The first plugin is called LUFTikus from the company LKJV, okay? It's a very simple equalization plugin. It has 6 knobs and 3 controls here. And what I love about plugins with knobs is that you use more your ears instead of your eyes to mix, okay? And this plugin, it's made more for mastering, but I use it on mixes as well and on the groups, okay? Drum groups, guitar groups, vocal groups, or bosses, okay? So this plugin has these knobs, and you actually affect fixed frequencies, okay? 40, 160, 640, so on and so forth, okay? This plugin has these 3 controls that are very common handy, okay? You activate this if you are mastering. I have always active this control, which is analog. It adds analog vibe and analog warmth, and this is for keeping the gain controlled on the input and output. So let's check out this plugin here on a drum group that I have. I'm going to just mess around with the knobs and see what happens. Okay, this high boost that it's here, it's a high shelf, and you decide where it's starting out, okay? It's in 10K, for instance. Okay, I like what it does to the high end. In my opinion, it's very warmth when I increase this knob. Check it out. Okay, and let's check out the track just before and after. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the plugin. Okay, and next plugin is the 10Q by the company White Label, right? It's a 10-band equalizer plugin, as you can see here on these labels colored, which you can disable by clicking here, right? It's a very interesting plugin, right? It's a parametric equalizer. You have the main 3 knobs here. Okay, you can control the Q, this the curve, the wide or narrow that this Q is going to be. Okay, the frequency control and the gain control, right, as usual. But it has some cool features like this, like you have some notch and bands here that you can affect. So for instance, this way you can only hear what you are affecting. Okay, this is a deep cut, the usual peak, low shelf, and high shelf controls. Okay, it's a very interesting plugin. And for instance, if you select another band, I'm gonna select this last one. It has some different features for the low pass and high pass, okay, such as this. It's very cool what you can do with the low end. And here I'm going to select the high end frequency, and you have the options as well for the high pass. Let's check out this plugin on a bass track. Okay, I put some bass here. I take out some of the boxiness of the bass around this area, and I added some attack on the bass and some a little high boost here, just to make the bass a little more cut through the mix better. Before, after. Next free plugin is the M Equalizer from the company Melda Production Audio. Okay, this plugin comes in a very awesome, great bundle that they have for free, where you can get a lot of plugins. My favorite is this one, the M Equalizer, that actually competes with some paid plugins that are very famous. This plugin has all those features and it's for free, so that's very awesome. It has an auto listen options where you can listen only what you're affecting, okay, which comes very handy. You have this analyzer where you can see the spectrum of the equalizer, and you have some very advanced settings, all right, that I'm not gonna get into a lot, but it's very good to have. You have the dry wet knob here where you decide how much you affect the signal. I have this always 100%. You have the output just to make sure that the input and output are in the same, and you have this saturation knob with adds warmth and analog vibe. Let's put this plugin on guitar tracks, distorted guitar tracks, and clean up a little bit the low end, clean up some of the high fizz or noise that I might have. The way that you enable or disable these bands is that if you right click on it, okay, you enable, or you can double click on it as well. If you right click on it, you have the options of the different peaks filters that you have for that specific band. Okay, do you have the frequency knob, the Q knob, and the gain knob? All right, and you can add harmonics as well. Let's start with the low end, and let's put here a high pass filter. With this control, you select what kind of slope. This is only what I'm affecting, okay? Okay, some information that I don't need in the mix, that is down here. So if you have good headphones or speakers, you're going to listen to this, to what I'm cutting here, all right? And let's take out some noise that this guitar might have. This is frequencies that I don't like a lot, right? Adding air and fizz to the guitar that I want to clean, all right? Okay, I'm going to add a little saturation here. And I'm going to match the input and output, okay, the volume here. Okay, more clean guitar, and I think it's going to work better in the context of a mix. Okay, and next plugin we have is the Q Range from the company LKJV. Alright, a very practical and simple, easy to use plugin, right? It has 12 bands of equalization, and you can double click on any part to enable or disable that particular band. Okay, you can use the mouse and the scroll wheel on the mouse to narrow or widen the cue, okay, which you can have it here, and if you click on it you can do that. All right, you have these options of stereo, left, right, mid, side, okay, in that particular band. I always have it in stereo mostly, and you have the type of band that you want to use here. Okay, this parts of the equalizer I used mostly peaks, okay, to hunt for bad frequencies and cut them down, or to find good frequencies and increase them a little bit. All right, so I have a lead guitar here, and I'm going to take out a little bit of low end here, and I'm going to hunt for those bad frequencies, okay, or harsh frequencies that might be on the lead guitar. All right, so I'm going to enable this band, and I'm going to put a low cut. Okay, we can hear the frequency that it's not working on this guitar, is making it very harsh. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out. Okay, and let's put this match into action. Alright, and this way when I bypass the plugin, I'm going to hear exactly the same volume, only hearing what the equalizer is doing to the frequencies. Before, after. Okay, we can see clearly that when I bypass the plugin, I hear those bad, harsh frequencies standing out. Let's continue with the next plugin, which is the equalizer from the company Noiselab. All right, this plugin is mostly for mastering, but I use it on groups as well, groups of vocals, guitars, drums, or bass. All right, it's very simple to use. Something that I like a lot about this plugin is that you can, with this control, you can listen only what's happening on the mids or on the sides of the stereo spectrum. You have the hertz control, right? The frequency control, decibels that you are going to affect, or the gain that you are going to add or take out from that frequency, and the Q control, okay, where you control that curve of the peak, okay, the size of it. And you have this type, which is peaks, low shelf, high shelf, low pass filter, and high pass filter. Okay, I'm going to leave it as it is right now. If you double click it, you turn off that frequency. Basically, the plugin goes back to default. You have the mode stereo, mid, and side. Okay, I'm gonna leave it stereo and bypass the plugin. Okay, so I have a lead vocal here, and I'm going to just mess around with the plugin a little bit.
Your breath, I'm nearly bored to death. You faded fast. Life is too short to last long. Back on earth, I'm broken, lost and cold, and fading fast. I am not coming home. Save your breath, I'm nearly bored to death. You faded fast. Life is too short to last long. Back on earth and broken, lost and cold and fading fast. I'm not coming home. Save your breath, I'm nearly bored to death. You're fading fast. Life is too short to.
Okay, I take out some low end here and take out some rumble here on the vocals very quickly and apply the high shelf to add some air, okay, and brightness to the vocals. Let's check out before and after.
To last long, back on earth and broken, lost and cold and fading fast. I'm not coming home. Save your breath, I'm nearly bored to death. You're fading fast.
And last but not least, we have the Slick EQ from the company Variety of Sound. Okay, this is a very cool equalizer. It has only 3 bands, low, mid, and highs. Okay, you have the options on the lows and highs of a high shelf or peak. Okay, and on the low of a low shelf and peak as well. Okay, you have a high pass filter here, right, which gets till 350 hertz. Okay, and you have this saturation control here where you can add very cool analog vibes to it, right, and natural harmonics, okay, that are very pleasurable to the ear. We have some modes here: the British, German, Soviet, and American mode. And I like the fact that it has this auto gain option to level match the input and output of the gain, okay, and make better decisions, as I mentioned. This plugin right now is on the master track, and I'm going to just mess around with it so that you can hear what it does.
I'm not coming home. Save your breath, I'm nearly bored to death. You're fading fast. Life is too short to last long. Back on earth and broken, lost and cold and fading fast. I'm not coming home. Save your breath, I'm nearly bored to death. You're fading fast. Life is too short to last long. Back on earth and broken, lost and cold and fading fast.
Okay, and let's check it out before and after.
I'm not coming home. Save your breath, I'm nearly bored to death. You're fading fast. Life is too short to last long. Back on earth and broken, lost and cold and fading fast.
It opens up the mix a little more, right, with this cut that I did here, and the low is a little bit more warm, okay, and the highs, it adds a little clarity to the mix. And it's very difficult, I think, to overuse this plugin, since when you exaggerate the frequencies, they actually doesn't sound bad, to be honest. So it's a very awesome plugin for your arsenal. Okay, my friends, so those were the 6 best plugins for me when it comes to equalization. And don't forget to go to amnerhunter.com, where you can go ahead and download some free stuff, very handy for your music production environment or guitar environment, right? I have 2 PDF ebooks that you can download for free, right? I have some cool utilities and tools, such as presets, guitar impulses, and that you can use on your productions, and they're going to level up your sound. Okay, so thank you very much for watching the video, my friends, and take care. See you in the next one.